Hi, everyone. I'm here with my friend Monsignor Martin Vallely. He's the pastor at Holy Rosary Parish. How are you, Monsignor?
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you for
And
welcoming me.
for our students and staff who may not know you, and maybe some don't, could you just briefly say something about yourself?
Sure. I am a priest of the Diocese of Hamilton and was actually born in Hamilton. And I've served as a priest for 41, almost 42
Wow.
years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Almost 30 of those as a pastor. Holy Rosary in Burlington is the third parish of which I have been the pastor.
Okay.
And I have been here now for 5.5 years.
Well,
And
welcome.
yeah, thank you very much. I
Do
come
you,
from a family of two sons. My elder brother was a surgeon, and he was also a permanent deacon. In fact, he was in
wow.
charge of the activities of the permanent diaconate in the Diocese of London. Unfortunately, he left us more than 4 years ago now, but my
Oh,
sister-in-law and my two nephews, one nephew with his wife actually living in London, and so I still keep in touch with them very much.
oh, my condolences at losing a brother.
Thank you.
Um, just to get give people an insight into who is Monsignor Martin. What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
Oh, that's actually a very clever question. Um, this is kind of a fantasy thing to say, but there was a side of me that always kind of thought I would love to be an airline pilot. And the irony is, we do in fact have a priest of our diocese who was a licensed pilot. So it's not impossible. But I always thought I would love to learn to fly like that. And it's not
Interesting.
something I ever took seriously, I suppose. What I have been asked is whether if I had not become a priest, what would I perhaps more likely have become? That question I've been asked an awful lot in my past.
Mm.
And the answer is always the same. I'm almost certain that I would have become a teacher. So, in some ways, of course, I really did become one, anyways.
You did. Although, because you mentioned teaching, I need to, or it begs the question, would you be elementary or secondary? And if secondary, what would your teachables have been?
Well, actually, I was trained and educated in mathematics. So I might very well have been a high school mathematics teacher and probably would also have been a religion teacher. I might have dabbled in teaching history too.
Hmm.
Um, if it were in the elementary panel, I would probably have more favored the junior grades. But I could very well have been a high school teacher. Any number of my peers whom I was in school with
Yeah.
became high school teachers themselves, and they had very fruitful years, very successful careers. They're all retired now, which I'm not, but
But we won't focus on that.
we won't focus on that.
No. So speaking of, different paths, what was your first job or some of your first jobs when you were a teenager?
Oh, yeah. When I was 15, 16, I actually got paid for what I had been doing as volunteer work, which was working with a kind of summer camp situation. Just one of those day things where kids would assemble,
Yeah.
at the parish, in the parish hall or outside, that kind of thing, and working as kind of a group leader or supervisor. And there was one year when they actually were able to get funding to structure that into being a whole job, which I
Oh,
did for
wow.
that summer. Um, then, just before I left high school and started university, I worked for Max Milk, $1.30 an hour. I will always remember that.
And that was minimum
Free stuff.
wage back then?
Well, I'm not sure, but I did that. Oh yeah, I did that
Wow.
all summer long. So
Wow.
those are the first two jobs that I have strong memory
A dollar and some change an hour.
of.
I'm sure, where everyone watching this is like, "Oh, wow."
Well,
Uh,
I should go one more step
yeah.
because my first year of university, after that was completed, I actually worked, do I dare to say this, in a tobacco factory, in a cigarette making factory, because my
Wow.
father worked for Imperial Tobacco. And so I got this job, and I was working all, summer long in that work. And I don't even remember what my salary was, but what I do remember is that the highest paid workers in the entire plant, who were the ones who fixed the machines, they were getting paid $6 an hour. That was considered an absolutely stunning sum. So mine was quite a bit less than that.
Wow. Wow.
You're talking 50 years ago
No, but it's good for the kids to hear how far we've come.
now.
Do you like board games?
I was never all that fussy about them. I played some of those when I was younger, but not
Mhm.
in more recent times, no.
And do you have any hobbies?
Yeah. Don't have an awful lot of spare time,
No, I
but
can't. Yeah.
I do like to read, and I certainly do like to go to theater, which I have very much missed for the last 2 years.
Yes.
Stratford, the Shaw in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Toronto. I've always been, even New York. I've always been a great fan of performances, some of classical ones, musicals. I really enjoy theater very much.
We have a very solid fan base here of musicals here at Assumption with our Assumption Crusader Theater program.
And I've been one of those fans, I might also add.
And so, may I ask, what is your favorite musical?
I would say Les Miserables will probably always remain my very favorite one.
Monsignor Martin, you and I both. I love Les Miserables. Oh, I saw it on stage in Toronto 3 times.
Yes, I've seen it at least 3 times, and
Yeah,
it has, of course, magnificent music and quite a development of characters, but it is the storyline that is essentially a
yeah.
story of power and of hope in the midst of the most hopeless kinds of situations, and I've always been deeply, deeply moved by it.
Yes. I will say every time I hear Valjean sing "Bring 'Em Home," it just makes me stop, and I just am so moved.
Exactly, I feel the same way.
Well, thank you so much, Monsignor Martin, for agreeing to allow me to interview you, and just for the sake of having people get to know you.
Yeah, I think that's important. Um,
And we can't wait to have you here in person to be together
I
once
will
again.
I will look very much forward to that as soon as possible.
Super. Thank you so much, Monsignor.
You're most welcome. Take care now.
Okay.
God bless.